Dave knows how.
Welcome back to the channel, and check out my $200 pickup truck. I guess you get what you pay for, maybe. And this thing is a real piece. Runs a little rough. Got some backfiring going on. Well, as you can see, the truck runs kind of rough. It's a lot of backfiring going on. It was a cheap truck, you know, cheap. Part of me kind of thought maybe I got stuck, but you know, hey, it's my $200 truck. Where are you gonna find a $200 truck, right? I mean, nowadays a $200 truck is 10 grand, you know. I mean, I look at them all the time online. I see these trucks that they're not worth $500 and they want $10,000 for them. You know, they got 300,000 miles on them. They wore fucking slam out. And they want 10 grand, 15 grand, 20 grand. I mean, it's just ridiculous. So I gotta be satisfied. You know, I put it out there to the universe that I was looking for a truck that was older. It didn't look so much like an eyesore and would run and tow what I need to tow. And I know that was asking for a lot, but I ended up with this. I looked at it, and at first I said, no, I'm not gonna buy it. It just, I wasn't sure because, you know, it's blowing black smoke out the exhaust pipe and blue smoke out the exhaust pipe. It's backfiring. It's got exhaust leaks. It had like 30 codes on the computer in there. When you hook the thing to it to read the codes, it had like 30 codes on there. You know, the air condition doesn't work. The air conditioner's broke. You know, a lot of things, you know, a lot of things. But, you know, after I looked at it, something kept telling me, you need to go get that truck. You need to go get that truck. You're not going to find another one that cheap. And so I just said, you know what, let me just go ahead and buy it. So I just went on and bought the truck. You know, it's a $200 truck. And it don't look too bad. I mean, it, you know, obviously the guy, he waxed it up pretty good, you know, to try to sell it. But, you know, it's got a lot of scratches on it. And, you know, you got dents back here. And it's got some rust. But, you know, I don't know, man. All I can do is try it, you know what I'm saying? All I can do is try it and see See how it works out. The thing got brand new tires on it. You know, it's got it's probably got $500 worth of tires on it. So, I don't guess I can get hurt too bad. I just have to see how it goes. Anyway, we're gonna see how old Blue does. Hopefully this old fella will serve me well. That old van that I've got, I've had that van a long time, and it's served me pretty well. But I don't know how much longer it's gonna hold up, because you get to a traffic light and stop, the oil pressure gauge goes all the way down to 0. With this one right here, it's not quite that bad, but when you get to a traffic light, the oil pressure gauge goes down pretty low. But that thing, it goes all the way down to 0. There's no air conditioning on that either. It's broke. And it was overheating. All last year it overheated a lot. And I would have to run the heater during the summertime to keep the engine from overheating. Now this year, for some reason, it hasn't. Of course, I don't drive it that much. I mean, you know, if I need to go get some steel from the steel yard, I'll drive that to go get the steel or whatever. So I've driven it to get. I drove it to get the steel for the super shaker when I did the rebuild on that. So I had to drive over to the steel place, like 3 or 4 or 5 times, because I didn't have the money to buy everything all at once. So I had to buy a little bit one month, and a little bit the next month, and a little bit the next month, and kind of collect it up so that I could, get the thing done once I got all the material together. So, but yeah, I mean, it made it over there to the steel place. I was kind of shocked. I keep towing on that thing because I know I'm going to need it. But I put towing on this too, because I don't know, man. I want to be optimistic, but I don't know. Well, you heard it run, all the popping and carrying on, backfiring and whatnot. You heard it. So anyway, any of you mechanics out there, because I'm definitely not a mechanic, that want to point me in the right direction of what I might want to do to try to take care of that. It did have a code for mass airflow sensor, and so I've been working on that, and that seemed to actually help it a lot with the black smoke, because there was a lot of black smoke just rolling out the exhaust. And that mass airflow sensor, I took it off to clean it. I got some cleaner and I cleaned it, and then when I went to put it back on, I noticed that the plug didn't plug all the way in. And so I got to looking at it, and one of the terminals in there, one of the little electrical contacts, was bent over. So it was never plugged in. And so I managed to straighten that back out and get it plugged in. And then I would say probably about 80% of that black smoke, maybe even 90% of that black smoke, went away. And so, that's awesome. That's awesome. It had a leak. It's got a leaking rear main seal, leaking oil, and it's also got an oil leak in the front. And it also had an oil leak coming from the sending unit that gives you your oil pressure reading. So I replaced the sending unit because that seemed to be the worst oil leak. Well, I really couldn't tell because there was oil all over everything underneath there. But I got up underneath there and I power washed it, and I replaced that sending unit first because that was the least expensive thing to change. with the least amount of effort, I thought. You know, I figured it would be easier than taking the transmission out and replacing the rear main seal. But it was a monster to put that darn sending unit in. It's between the engine and the firewall below the intake. And you're supposed to take the intake off to do it, but I managed to do it without taking the intake off. And after I replaced that sending unit, believe it or not, that solved probably, I would say, 70 or 80% of the oil leak was that sending unit. Now I've still got a rear main seal that's leaking, and I've got something around the front that's leaking. And I'm not sure what that is. I need to power wash it again and get up underneath there and investigate some more. And you know, when weather is not so hot, I may drop this transmission and put a rear main seal in there and then see what I got after that. Because the rear main seal is fairly inexpensive. It's just a lot of work to put it in. I've never put one in on a vehicle. You know, I mean, I put one in on my tractor when I had it split, but you know, I don't recall ever putting one in, you know, on an automobile. It's pretty much the same thing, I'm sure, but I just hate working on automobiles. I really do. To me, it's no fun at all. I mean, I hear people. I got friends that love to work on race cars and automobiles and stuff, and they just love it and enjoy it. And quite honestly, I get no enjoyment out of working on one. I mean, I just want to get in it and drive it and go do what I want to do. You know, there's other things that I enjoy doing. I enjoy being on the tractor and that kind of thing, and you know, those are the kind of things that I like to do. And I like doing machine work and stuff and building stuff and stuff like that. You would think that I would really enjoy working on an automobile, but for some crazy reason, I just don't. Anyway, I just thought I'd give you a little update on Old Blue. That's what I call it, Old Blue. You know, be careful what you ask for, because this is what I asked for, and I got it. Anyhow, hope you guys are having a good summer, and hey, hang around. I'll catch you in the next one. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.